The Isaiah Factor Uncensored starts right now.
And welcome to The Factor Uncensored on this Friday night. Now, yesterday, Texas Governor Greg Abbott announced he intends to continue building the border wall in Texas. Will this be the invisible border, like the one former President Donald Trump never got to fully finish? It's got our entire panel heated, even one of the Factor's tried and true conservatives. Take a look.
So, guys, there you have it. Do you think this is about the governor running for president, or does he really care about border security here in the state of Texas? Antonio, let's begin with you.
This is absolutely political theater. Governor Greg Abbott is positioning himself for a bigger office, and this is what he's trying to do, throw red meat to his Republican base. The reality is that the problems that our immigration system has won't be fixed by a border or a wall of any sort. We need to make sure that we're addressing the concerns of the immigrants, why they're fleeing their countries, and provide a pathway to citizenship.
Claver, why would we approach this? And the governor has not announced as of yet. He says next week he'll announce how he will pay for this. Can the state of Texas afford this?
Yeah, first of all, he can do so, but Antonio is partly right. It's not that he's seeking higher office. He's trying to keep his present job. See, here's the situation. This is all political theater. This is a political ploy. He could have had this on his desk during the legislative session. State Representative Brian Slayton filed a bill to complete the border wall between Texas and Mexico. He's in trouble. He finally has primary competition for 2022, and his favorability numbers are in the tank. Don Huffines, a billionaire and former state senator who was consistently graded as either the #1 or #2 conservative in the Texas State Senate, has already announced. Allen West, the first Black Texas GOP chair since Reconstruction and the forming of the Texas GOP by 200 black men, just resigned with speculation that he's going to make a run. Agriculture Commissioner Sid Miller is making noise. Chad Prather, who I really look at a candidate as more like a Kinky Friedman type of candidate, he's already announced. Greg Abbott has never had substantial primary, legitimate primary opposition. When he was in the Attorney General for 10 years, he never had a primary opponent. His favorabilities are below 40. He's in trouble. This is why he's doing it. And wait a
minute, Claver, are you turning on your own conservative, your own Republican Party?
That's the problem. Greg Abbott is not a conservative. He has been labeled a campaign conservative by former State Representative Jonathan Stickland. He's a campaign conservative, and he's running scared, and he's sweating blood because he finally has a primary opponent. For those who don't know, Greg Abbott is unpopular with the Texas GOP, especially the largest voting base in Texas, the Texas GOP voting base. He didn't want a convention. He wanted a virtual convention because he would have been booed off the stage like Mitt Romney was in Utah. He's very unpopular. We want him out of office because he's a phony conservative.
Wow, Tex, so how do you follow that up? I hear Greg Abbott is your guy, and you want borders everywhere. I think in my backyard too, right?
Well, it was May 1st. It was Tex Christopher that called on Governor Abbott, as well as Patrick, as well as Paxton. You guys got the press release. Fox 46 came out and did a story on it right there in Galleria. And I said, we need to support our sheriffs. Me and a Sheriff Lauterbach, we did a speaking engagement together and saying, look, all this rhetoric is falling on deaf ears. We need the governor to listen. So the 3 key points that went out in the press release: #1, answer request a declaration of disaster for all the border counties. And so I gave him 100 days to comply. He did it in 30 days. #2, to empower the Texas Guard with full authority to defend the borders, and we still need to do that one. And #3, finish the wall with materials and assets that have been allocated, and he stepped up in 41 days. So I presented an ultimatum to him. He had 100 days to comply and to support our sheriffs that desperately need it. Why? Because the state of Texas already has resources that are there for our sheriffs.
Tex, let's say you did it all, but how do we pay for it now?
How do we pay for it? So that material is already sitting there. The equipment is already there. And guess what? Texas is the 7th largest economy on planet Earth. We can do this. For crying out loud, if we can put a man on the moon, we can build a wall. If we can provide the open heart surgery and share it with the world, we can do this. If we can speak into existence,
One
we're the
second,
energy
Clever.
capital of the
Tex.
free world, we can do this, Isaiah.
All right, Tex, let's bring in Cesar Espinosa from Fiel. Cesar, you smiling or smirking?
Some of us live in a delusional world where we think that Governor Abbott actually listens to us. I could think of 1,000 ways that Governor Abbott and the state of Texas could use this money, not for political campaigns, not to get in the elected office, but to, hey, save people from dying during a winter freeze, on infrastructure, on the power grid, on many other issues that affect Texas, instead of just using, once again, being a mini Trump and using the immigrant community to push your political agenda forward. How disgraceful that we live in a state that needs all of these things, that can combat on human trafficking, that can do so much on so many things, yet here we are wasting time, resources, and money into just seeking elected office. Come on, Governor Abbott. Come on, anybody who believes in it. It's time to elect new leadership who would actually take on these issues firsthand and figure out the root of the problem, not just put patches for political ploy to get the uneducated base to go out and support this guy who doesn't make any sense. And how delusional of Tex to live in a world where he thinks that he actually had influence on the government, on the governor, to actually do.
We just called on him.
What it is, man.
No, we just called on him. That's all that we did. We did our part. We did our part.
I think it's one thing we can all agree on, that Texas needs new leadership, and Republicans don't seem to like them. Democrats don't seem to like them. I think it's time for Texas to get a new governor.
All right, Cleveland, we'll give you the last word, 20 seconds.
Well, the first thing is we don't need any Democrats in statewide office. That's the first thing. We need a true conservative to replace Greg Abbott. That's the number one thing.
You're not going that damn far, huh, Cleveland?
And oh no way would I vote for the jackasses. No way. Okay, now the other thing is a very salient point that you brought up: how to pay for it. Okay, now he's making all of these noises, but he cannot do this by executive action. Some are saying that he may take the $16 billion that's left over from the COVID relief to be able to pay for it, but I think it takes legislative action for him to do it. So he can't do it with a phone, with his phone and a pen. He has to have legislative action, and we've got a special session coming up in which the governor's power increases dramatically. They have to deal with redistricting, and the governor's constitutional power gains immensely during a special session. He may put it on the call for the special session that's coming up beginning in July.
Make sure you give Tex Christopher his credit.